day 287. So nice to meet you and nice to see you again. Daily Dose of Hope is just that. The energies on our planet are picking up, and it's harder and harder to stay in the middle path. And so Daily Dose of Hope is just there to help us to, stay in the middle path. I mean, and we need hope to do that. It's hard to not go into our emotions without some sort of hope. And so I was guided to do this, guided to come on, and just attempting to give a little bit of hope if you need it. So yeah, so day 287. So usually we do 3 parts, but we're just doing 2 parts now. We're doing kind of a shorter version, so a little bit of a chat and a little bit of a channeling. So yeah, I was just watching The Truman Show again. It just came up, and I was just watching it, and it's an amazing movie. And also, there's this one line that stuck out in my mind when I was watching it. It really came out in my mind. In the story, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but this spoiler alert, I guess. But Truman is he is a man that was born in a TV show, and he doesn't know that he's in a TV show, and he's the focus of attention of the TV. He's the main character, and but he has no idea that he's living within a movie, and so all of the characters in the movie, or all of the characters around him, are all actors, and they're all staged. And in the movie, there's this one woman that she was trying to break through and trying to tell him what was really happening. Like, you're in a movie, this is not real, nothing is real. And she was trying to kind of wake him up to what was going on. And there's this one phrase that really got to me. So he said, like, he was saying, what about school tomorrow? And she said, Truman, there is no school, And for some reason that really popped and somehow it stuck in my head. And so, like, in the same sense, like, everything in our life that we think is really important, right? Like, work or job or school and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's so true on so many different levels. There is no job, there is no school, there is no work. All of these things are just, most of the time, they're there to kind of keep us attention away from what's really going on. And and I think that in a sense, it's kind of, so on many different levels, it's really interesting. On one level, it's all about, how people can be controlled to believe that they're the world that they live in, and they will not push outside of the boundaries of that world, just assuming that they're there always. And then also on the spiritual side, it's the idea, a similar idea. So I guess on the macro, micro kind of idea, it's the same, that we are trained, and we believe that there are these boundaries and there's these limits that we have, and that we can't go beyond. This is my limit, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. But we rarely test the limits and say, oh, well, maybe I can go further out there. What happens if I go all the way over there? And I think that, in a sense, the Truman Show, I mean, there's many different meanings that you can take from it. And but yeah, so there is no school, there is no work, there is no job, there is no, all of these things. And so for my own personal take, when I had what might be called my awakening, I don't know what to call it, when I got really sick for a few days, and then everything changed for me. I guess that's what I'll call it. the sick days that changed everything for me. I got really, really sick in the beginning of 2019 or so, or end of 2019, and I got really sick for 3 days, and then afterwards, like, I wasn't really the same anymore. Like, everything that used to have meaning for me didn't have meaning for me. I used to live to compose music, and I thought I have to compose music every day. That was my identity, and if I didn't do it, then I was not alive, And I used to kind of I created this whole kind of world that didn't even exist, And and I finally got kind of outside of that. And I realized, like, oh, what was I doing? What was I thinking? And I think very similar to the Truman Show. It's just, yeah, once you realize, it's like, oh, it's just a TV show. It doesn't matter. None of this stuff really mattered in the end. So that was the thing that kind of popped up in my mind. And it's similar to another movie, I think, that was made around the same time. It was called The Dark City. And in the story, there's a man that lives in this town, and there are all these advertisements for this like Coney Island kind of area, Coney Island beach kind of thing. It's not Coney Island, but and he always wants to go to that beach, and they're all over the place. They're just kind of like giving you hope. Oh, see, there's the beach, right? There's the Go Beach. And one day he decides to go there, and he finds that there's nothing there. It's just a brick wall. But within the movie, though, he breaks down the wall with his imagination. And I think that's kind of the key of where we're at. So, yeah, just interesting that that movie came up again. And yeah, but so I think it's time in that sense, I think, to kind of break out of um, our boundaries, yeah, what we think we're capable of and what we're capable of doing, and the level of happiness that we think we're capable of having. And instead of just accepting like, oh, this, this is all it is, or whatever, it's kind of really looking inside and seeing, what is real and what is not real. And this is a really complicated process, like of really really understanding what the world is about. Of course, it's about accepting where you're at. Okay, this is everything around me, but you know, there's nothing wrong with saying, well, but I kind of want to experience this, kind of thing. And if we are completely and utterly creative and able to create, then we can create whatever we'd like, right? As long as it feels right inside, get that like that good feeling inside. Before I go into a channeling, I want to share one more thing. I was watching, I think the English title is Howl's Moving Castle. It's a Miyazaki Hayao movie, and it's about, I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with it. Miyazaki Hayao is a really famous creator of anime here in Japan. So this one, Spirited Away, is another famous one. And but this movie, I was watching it last night, realizing like there's so much involved in that. They're revealing so much in that. And in the story, Howl is I guess he's some sort of magician, and he has this moving castle, and somehow he keeps all these things that are kind of cursed will come. Well, he is being cursed. He himself has a curse on him. And then in his house, he keeps finding these people who also have curses. And then he just invites them into the house, and they all kind of live together. And it's really interesting how the curses always look like this little black, it's like a little black snake kind of thing. And anyway, I just want to, because it's a kids show. It's a kids, it's for kids, and just like, this is not for kids. This is insane. It's like very much, there's a lot of stuff being revealed in there. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. There's a whole bunch of stuff I really would like to talk about, but my guide said I'm not supposed to talk about publicly, so I won't. Save it for the membership, I guess. So next membership, yeah, just talk about all that stuff. So I guess it's good there. So I'm going to go into a channeling, and I'm going to ask if they have anything to say about, about this whole Truman Show idea and about our boundaries. And yeah, here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know of as Esmeralda, and we're here, and we're here, and we're here. And what we'd like to bring forward today is the idea that you are much, much more than you could ever imagine. Now, your movies are attempting to break through the surface just a tiny little bit, just a fracture in the shell that you live in. But understand that your understanding of who you are is much different from what you truly are. Now, with your physical brain, with your brain here on this planet, what you can understand, you understand that you are a spirit. You can understand that you are a spirit. But to understand what that truly means, and to understand how much creative capability you have as a human and as a spirit that is being incarnate as a human now, we would say it would blow your mind. You would be so surprised at how much you're capable of doing once you understand how this works, and how this third dimension rising works, and how this dimension that you are approaching works as well. this new paradigm, you might say, this new way of thinking. But in a sense, we would say it is similar to the third dimension. It is just within the third dimension, but understanding how it all works. And so dimensionally, you could call it a higher dimension in that sense. The world around you doesn't change, but the world within you changes. Your way of looking at everything changes. Your perspective changes, and that is what you might call a dimension. So you'd be living on a different dimension, but it is just a different paradigm. It's just a different philosophy. You're looking at the world from a different philosophy, and you might find that out in your life at this moment, that you are in this life at this moment, that you'll find that people around you who have a different way of thinking are living in a different world. They see things completely different. You see a circle, they see a square. Everything is completely different in that sense. Once you change your mind, that's the power of your mind. And that is just a simple aspect, a simple way of showing how powerful it is that once you change your mind, your world changes as well. And does it actually change or does it not change? This is up for you. This is up for debate in that sense. And what does change and what doesn't change? And does it matter if what changes and doesn't change? And that is what we would say. It doesn't matter, and it matters very, very much in that sense, in both ways. And so, but what we would like to bring forward to all of you is that power that you can change everything around you. You can change everything around you. And that all of the things that you think are keeping you down, pushing you down, keeping you down, are all your decisions. There is no one that is pushing you down. No one can push you down. No one can keep you down. No one can keep you from doing or becoming who you want to become, except for yourself. You are the only one that has that power. You have the power. And you give up that power. When you give up that power, that is when you decide that you do not want it. And so that is what we would like to bring forward to you, is this idea that nothing is stopping you. The only thing that is stopping you is you. You are in your own way. And so it's very important in these times to step out of your own way and to understand that you have this ability, this beautiful, amazing, wonderful ability. And we would say the way to approach it is like a fire. You build the fire slowly, you build it slowly. You start with a spark, and the spark catches a little bit on fire, and then you feed the fire with more wood and more wood and more wood until it becomes a beautiful burning fire. And that is what we would say with this, that it's not necessary to jump into your power in that sense. If you choose to, that is fine as well. But you can also just start to understand how powerful you are, slowly just confirming and reaffirming who you are and how beautiful you are and how wonderful you are and how powerful you are. And just build and build on that foundation. And you'll see that miracles are not as miraculous as you think they are. They happen all of the time. And all you have to do is be aware of it and be miracle-minded, understanding that you are here to create miracles. You are a miracle worker. All right, guys. So thanks for listening in. I hope you guys are hopeful, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. So, yep, ciao for now. If you're interested in anything else, any of the offerings I have, they're all down below. So check it out if you're interested. If you're not, don't. So anyway, ciao for now.